chapter 5, as Christy was saying, that it was a sensitive topic to discuss about, and the way I framed it was that Paul is saying that he will have zero tolerance for the kind of person who claims to be a believer and is actively involved in some kind of a sin behavior. The phrase dirty laundry in public means we talk about things which are embarrassing in public before everyone. So I thought the appropriate title would be How to Do Dirty Laundry, Paul's style. So if you see the chapter, the first half of the chapter is Dirty Laundry Public Limited, and the second part is Dirty Laundry Private Limited. We'll come to that. So, thing that Paul says, we'll read the next slide, we'll read the text, and then we'll talk about it. So, first, Paul talks about their public failure. You see, the verse he says, the words he uses in chapter 7, Paul's assessment. You know, once in a year, Caleb would know, Pastor Joe would know, there would be a meeting of how the morning service is doing, how the evening service is doing, and so on and so on and so on. So they'll discuss about, what is good, what can be improved, and so on. So Paul has given his assessment in verse 7. He says, you are completely defeated already. So completely defeated already. Get along with each other. Get along with each other and forgive each other. If someone does wrong to you, forgive that person because the Lord forgave you. Many years back, me and Pramla had gone to some other church in some other city. And just like we reached the church a few minutes early, I went up and said hello to some people who are on the front seat, and they said, hi, good to see you, and so on. Then they said, you know what, every Sunday we have communion, but we'll not give you the communion. I said, oh, okay. I said, okay. So he said, you see, you say you are a believer and she's a believer, but we don't know you are a believer, right? I said, okay. Then I said, okay, fine, I'll tell Caleb's name, I'll tell Pastor Joe's name, some other believers. They said, okay, fine, all that is fine. Please enjoy the service. You're not going to give you communion. I said, okay. So when communion was distributed, and of course, me and Pramla did not have communion. And that afternoon, I was like, offended. Shall I tell you whom to talk to, Caleb? Please talk on my behalf. So, I can keep that in my heart and not go to that place again. But it's in a convenient location in another metropolis. I can go there, and what you do when it comes to mindset, just like in property, real estate, they say the word that matters the most is location, location, location. In the same way, in all these things, what matters the most is reframe, reframe, reframe. What Paul is saying is, God has forgiven you. You can forgive. As I said, the Greek and Roman culture was a culture of promiscuity and prostitution. This was also because of the philosophical thinking that the body has no value. It is only the soul or the spirit which is important. So, which means you can do with your body what you like. So, temple prostitutes used to be called friends, and prostitution was a big thing in Corinth. And chapter 5 tells us about a very particularly intense case of adultery. And what Paul says is he gives us a number of reasons on why we cannot afford to think like the Greeks and the Romans of that day. I'll read the text. He says, I have the right to do anything, you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. You say, food for the stomach and stomach for food, and God will destroy them both. So here, some commentators say that the belly here also represents sexual desire. So, I'm not sure, but the body, however, is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. Reason number one. Number two, by his power, God raised the Lord from the dead bodily, and he will raise us also bodily, which means that the body is important. Do you not know? Reason number three, again, do you not know that phrase, that your bodies are members of Christ himself?